All right, let me ask you something. How long have you been thinking about starting a business or a side gig or something of your own? Is it 6 months, a year, maybe longer? And if I ask you right now, what is stopping you? What would you say? Because most people tell me the same things. I do not have enough money or time. I do not know what to start. The timing is not right. I need to learn more first. But here's what I know after working with many, many high achieving women. That is not what is actually stopping you. So what is stopping you is this. You're probably waiting for certainty before you act. And you're waiting until you feel ready, until you have the perfect plan, until you have enough information, or until someone or something gives you the green light. And I need to tell you something that nobody else is going to say to you today. That green light is never coming. Not because that dream of yours is not real or because you're not capable, but because certainty does not come before action. Bummer, right? It comes after. And the longer you wait for it, the more of your life you spend in a waiting room that was never meant for you. So stay with me, because in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why your brain is doing this, where it's actually coming from, and the 3 shifts, sorry, I have a broken finger, the 3 shifts that will finally help you stop overthinking and going for it. Hi, I'm Jenny Lopez. Yes, that's the name. I'm your Latina mindset business leadership mentor. I'm a former Fortune 500 executive with more than 23 years of leadership experience, best-selling author, and someone who spent way too much time waiting for my own green light before I finally decided to build my business 6 years ago. This video is for the woman who is smart, accomplished, capable, but still waiting, still researching, still preparing, still saying, maybe I'm almost there. By the end of this video, you will understand what is happening in your brain, why your background makes this even harder than it is for most people, and what to do about it, starting today. Are you ready? All right, so let's start talking about the real reason you're waiting. And it's not fear, it is programming. So here's what neuroscience tells us about why we struggle to act in uncertainty. Your brain is wired for survival. And from your brain's perspective, predictability feels safe. Familiar feels safe. Even if that familiar is not what you want, your brain will rather keep you in a non-discomfort than risk an unknown one. So when you think about starting a business or leaving a salary, stepping into the unknown, doing something that you have never done before, your brain sends up a red flag and it says, danger, danger, wait. You need to get more information, make sure first, and you listen because your brain has kept you alive this far. But here's what I want you to understand. It is the part that changed everything for me. Now, for most women, this is just biology. The brain resistant uncertainty. Normal, but for high-achieving women, especially those of us who came up through corporate, or especially those of us who came from cultures where safety was not just encouraged, but required. This goes so much deeper than biology. Like, we were not just born with a preference for certainty. We were trained for it. I mean, think about it. What corporate rewarded you for. You did not move until that strategy was approved, right? You did not launch until the plan was signed up. You did not take a risk without a safety net. You raised your hand only when you already knew the answer. And you were promoted for that, praised for that, trusted for that. I spent 23 years being rewarded for waiting for that next green light. The system trained me to wait, and it trained me so well. So the problem is that entrepreneurship does not have a green light. Nobody is going to approve your business plan. Nobody is going to tell you that the timing is perfect. Nobody is going to guarantee that it will work before you start. The certainty you're waiting for does not exist. I mean, nada, does not exist. And every day you wait for it is the day that your business does not exist either. Now, I want you to go one level deeper, because for many of the women that I work with, and maybe for you, there is something underneath the corporate conditioning that runs even deeper. And it's that little vocecita, that little voice that says, what will people think if you fail? Many of us were raising households where taking a risk was not just a personal decision, it was a family matter, where your success reflected on everybody. Sounds familiar? And then your failure will be their failure too. So I grew up understanding that, the pressure to be safe, to be certain, not to embarrass the family, to not waste the sacrifices that were made for you. That was real. It is still real. That was loud. That shaped every decision I made for decades. So I learned to only move when I was sure, to only speak when I had the answer, to only raise my hand when I could know that nothing could go wrong. And I want to say this clearly and with a ton of love. This is not a character flaw, and that is not a weakness. It's just cultural programming. And it kept you safe for a long time, but it will kill your business before it starts. Because starting a business requires you to move before you're sure, to speak before you have all of the answers, to raise your hand for something that you have never done before and say, I do not know exactly how, but I know I'm supposed to do this. And for women who were raised to never get it wrong, that is the deepest unlearning of all. Here is what I call this. It is not fear of failure. It is the fear of being seen failing. Those are completely different things. You're not afraid of the work, but you're afraid of what it will mean about you and your family and your community if it does not work. And until you name that, you cannot move through it. So now I want to pause and ask you to do something. I want you to calculate the real cost of waiting. Not the cost of starting. Usually we go there. The cost of waiting. Every unresolved decision lives in your head. And every I'll do it when the time is right takes space in your mind, drains your energy, and quietly chips away at your belief in yourself. You know what else happens when you keep waiting? You start to lose trust in yourself. Because every time you say you're going to do something and you do not do it, your brain is noticing. And it trusts you a little less. Ouch. The waiting is not neutral, it's actually expensive, my friend. The most painful part is that the clarity that you're waiting for, it does not come from more research, it does not come from more preparation, it comes from action. The answers come after you move, not before. Hindsight is always clear, but hindsight only comes to the people who acted. All right, so let's start talking about how to stop waiting and start building, right? Here are the 3 shifts that I teach every woman I work with and that I had to make myself. Shift number 1, stop waiting to feel ready. Start trusting that you will be okay. Self-trust does not mean that you believe that you will make the right decision every time. It means that you trust that you will be okay even when you make the wrong one. Read that again, because that is everything. You do not need to know it will work. You need to trust that if it does not work, you will handle it. You will learn from it. You will get back up, and here's how you build that trust. You start keeping your word to yourself. Not to your boss, not to your family, to you, to yourself. Every time that you say you're going to do something and you do not do it, you're teaching your brain that you cannot be trusted. And every time you follow through, even on a very small little pequeña thing, you build the evidence that you can. So start small. Say you're going to do one thing today towards your business, and then do it. Not tomorrow, not when you feel like it, today. That one kept promise is worth more than 100 vision boards. In my own journey, I had to start proving to myself that I could do the hard things that I had never done before. Not because somebody approved it, not because I had a 100% guarantee, but because I said that I would, and I did. That is how self-trust is built. One can promise at a time. That's it. Now, shift number 2 is that you stop treating uncertainty like if a stop sign, and it's almost like a starting line, the opposite. Now, here's the reframe that changed my life. What if uncertainty is not a warning? What if it's an invitation? Every woman that I know who has built something meaningful, every single one, built it in the middle of not knowing, not after the knowing. In the middle of it, you're never going to have all of the information. You're never going to have the perfect plan. You're never going to feel completely ready. And here's the spiritual truth that is underneath all of this. And I say this as somebody who believes deeply in purpose and calling. If you are trying to control every outcome, every detail, every step of the path before you take it, you leave no room for what is meant for you to find you. I have seen this my whole life over and over again. The opportunities that changed everything were not the ones that I actually planned, were the ones that were open because I had stepped into the unknown. And when I finally stopped waiting for certainty and started moving in faith, things happen that I could not have even engineered from a spreadsheet. Trust the process, trust your calling, trust that the path becomes clear as you walk it and not before. Now, my favorite shift, number three, stop making decisions from who you are and start making them from who you are becoming. This is the one that will change everything for you. Here's the question that I want you to sit with after this video, okay? Who is the version of you that has already built the business? What does she do when she's scared? Does she wait for the green light or is she moving anyway? Because when you have a clear picture of who you are becoming, making decisions gets simple. Every choice becomes, does this expand me or contract me? Does this move me towards that woman or away from her? Let me give you a metaphor. I love metaphors. Imagine that you're standing at a counter and in front of you, there's the whole entire menu of your life. I know, silly. Every option that you could choose, every direction that you could go. And you have been standing there for months, maybe years, asking everybody around what you should order. What should I order? My boss, my family, the culture, society. What do you think I should do? Is this a good idea? Do you think this is gonna work? What if I choose wrong? And everybody has an opinion and none of them are you. And here's what I want to tell you today. You already know what you want. You have always known it. The question is not what to order. The question is, are you finally ready to trust yourself enough to ask for it? Stop asking everybody else. Order for yourself. Now, let me bring back this together. I'm so passionate about this one. You're not lazy. You're not waiting because you're not ready. You're not waiting because you're not trained. You're waiting because you were actually trained by corporate and by culture, by years of being rewarded for certainty, to wait for a green light that honestly is never coming. So the three shifts that will change that. Number one, build self-trust, because that word that you keep to yourself, start small, start today, that's going to change everything for you. Number two, reframe uncertainty. Is more of an invitation, not a stop sign. And clarity is going to come after you make that move. And number three, get aligned with who you are becoming. Make every decision from that woman, not the one who is still waiting. And here's what I want you to do right now. In the comments, tell me what is the one thing that you have been waiting to feel certain about before you start. Name it out loud in the comments, because naming it is the first step to moving through it. And if you are ready to stop waiting and start building, I would love to invite you and join my free community of intentional leaders. Honestly, that's a space for women who are done asking everybody else for permission and they're ready to finally order for themselves. The link is in the description, and subscribe to this so I continue to share with you my learnings, my growth, so we can grow stronger together. I drop new videos every week to help you go from corporate to CEO with clarity, confidence, and without burning out. And I am Jenny Lopez, your Latina mindset business leadership mentor, and I will see you on the next video. Adios.